Hi there, this is Christine Glover. Sorry it's been a while since you've seen me. We've had a really busy July and I've been meaning to start a new bit of content where I cover my reading, writing, and editing month, my wrap up my month. And so today I'm talking about my reading, my writing, and my editing wrap up for July, which was incredibly crazy. First of all, I don't know if you noticed, but I have cut my hair and I did it while kind of by myself. My daughter and I found a Brad Mondo video on YouTube and we followed his directions. It did take the two of us working together a little bit. I'm really good at creating parts because years of braiding and French braiding for her. And she was really good with the finessing of the layers, but I think she did a pretty good job. It worked really well. So if you're still unable to get a haircut and you're sick of your hair, you might want to pop over to Brad Mondo's YouTube video that shows you how to do that. It's kind of cool. So there's that happening. We just did that like a week ago. I'm pretty pleased with it. So anyhow, this is going to be a little bit more of a raw video because I haven't done one in a while and I wanted to just talk from a more casual perspective. So last month I pretty much read just about everything that I could get my paws on by Lisa Kleypas and by Tessa Dare. I really love the Spindle Cove series by Tessa Dare. I really love the Wallflower series by Lisa Kleypas. Just about anything that they write, I want to read. They're heroines in both of these authors' historical novels are really unique and different. The heroes are fun to watch as they grow in their character arc growths. I love reading historical romances when I'm in writer mode because they kind of keep me focused on my own stuff. So this takes me to a completely different world. So I love historicals and always have, and these are two of my favorite authors. There's a few others out there that I enjoy as well. I tend to go on binges like everybody else, but I don't read on paperbacks or anything like that anymore because I have really bad eyesight. So I do everything on my Kindle Paperwhite. For a while I was reading on my iPad, but it was heavy and it was too easy for me to get distracted by social media and all that other good stuff. So I decided to invest in this little Kindle Paperwhite and use it primarily for my reading. My daughter had given me a book to read a couple months ago by now that was in a really nice hardcover version and da-da-da-da-da. And I just was afraid to read it because the only time I'll read a paperback is or any book, is if I'm in the bath. And I was afraid I'd ruin it. And I don't have good eyesight at night, so I need this. Like, this is my little happy place. The only thing that's weird about it is you can't see the page numbers. It's about percentage that you've read, which is okay. I'm fine with that, but you can highlight things. And if I'm reading romances, I tend to highlight the parts that I think are really well written because it's good to let that good energy get into your brain and really sink in there. So I'm a reader first. That's how I got into writing romances, is I read them. I've been reading romances since, I don't know, since I could get my paws on them at the local library. So that's my primary source. I also really love to read cozy mysteries, and I've gotten into different binge reading on that. One of my favorites are by Joanne Fluke. She's really fun because she has recipes, but I haven't picked up any of her books lately, so I need to get them onto here because I only have paperback versions of them. So trying to rediscover some of my old favorites, my old classic favorites that I enjoyed. One of the things that my dad and I used to do is we used to exchange book suggestions for what to read. So I got him onto Wilkie Collins and I got him onto Willa Cather. I got him into the Cat Who series, which I love that series. It's just a whole different world. So he would then recommend books to me. So because of him, I know about Robertson Davies. He wrote Fifth Business, which is really a great series. Graham Greene. I'm trying to think who else he hooked me into. Those are the two top that I remember. So there's this strange kind of like tradition in my family, starting with my father and me, and now it's kind of switched over to my daughter recommending books to me to read, which are often YA influenced. So I read the Six of Crows series, the 2 books for that. I've read a lot of anyways, she's had me read a lot of YA books. So she's always recommending YA or different books that she's come across to me. So it's a reversal. She doesn't really read romances. She's read a few, but she primarily sticks in the YA fantasy land. So she recommended a book to me that's really unique and different called Night Circus, and it's by Erin Morgenstern. And at first when I started reading it, this is the big paperback, the big nice book that she gave me that I'm like, I'm just going to have to buy the book and put it on my paperweight. At first it started off kind of slow for me because it was so different from reading my historicals, and it's a very unique, very well-written story, but it was hard for me to kind of juggle all the different pieces because it's not written really 100% linearly, and there's a circus that pops up in the middle of nowhere all over the world, or especially in England, I believe, and people come to the circus and it's only open at night and it's black and white, and there's the two top characters. They're not really magicians, they're manipulators of everything. Like they're incredibly gifted people that it looks like illusions, but they're actually doing it. The two main characters are pitted against each other by their mentors, and I have to say Cecile and, oh gosh, I have to actually look it up now because this is how my memory's been going lately. Hello, COVID brain, anyone? It's Celia is the main character, that's the heroine, who she is the one that's involved in this game of wills between her father and another gentleman named AJ something or whatever. And then the guy's name is, and for the life of me cannot remember it. I had it pulled up. Goodness, I might have the mad cow disease, as Danny Crane used to say in Boston Legal. My brain is just sort of full of holes right now. There's just been a lot going on since the beginning of July. Still on this book, I'm at like 62%, which is a little over the halfway mark. I still don't really understand what's going on, but it sort of draws you in. It just kind of slowly, methodically draws you in. And like, there's a character named Bailey who goes in and becomes part of the circus as a friend of these two kids that were born the first night the circus opened. It's been running for like 13 years now. So the twins are named Widget and Poppet, that's their nicknames, and they befriend this guy Bailey. And so in this one section, he's going into all these different kind of tents that he's never visited before, and he has a permanent get in for free kind of ticket now. And I don't know how that's going to play out, but it's very intriguing, and the writing is very unique and fun, and he kind of bops back and forth between the two main characters who are engaging in this battle of wits per se, and they're actually coming together and they're falling in love. So there's that extra little oomph in there as well. So I really recommend it. It's like I said, it's a slow build. At first I just could not get into it, and then finally I just said, I'm gonna sit down and read it, and then I got more diving deep into it. But it's not a binge fast read. It's kind of a slow burn read, and you can read other books in between. I think that's one way. I think my daughter does that as well. But I really recommend it. It's a great book. It's very beautifully written, and the characters are unique and interesting, and that's always fun to put into your head. So that's basically that's my reading world. This month I'm gonna finish this book, and then I'll probably read a few more just quicker romances, just to kind of get my head wrapped around romance. I love them. They're fast reads, and I need something quick and easy right now because life is quite tumultuous. We had a big move in July. It was crazy, and my husband and I feel like we've gone through several lifetimes in the last month and a half, and there are still things that we need to juggle and wrap up, like his office isn't quite done. But this pandemic has affected everyone, and we're very fortunate that we have a home, that we have each other, that we can ride out the storm, so to speak, in this shelter. It's a lovely shelter, and I feel very, very, very fortunate to have it. I know not everybody's in that position. So that's reading world. So for writing world, oh boy, July kind of took a hit there too, because of this 7-day journey to and from Alabama. It's really fun traveling with all your personal protective equipment across the Southeast, right, across the South where COVID land is rampantly spreading. That's just a joyful delight. We even spent the night in a hotel. It was not a fun trip. It was very stressful. We did see some friends when we were in Alabama. We were happy we got to see them. We've known them for 35 years. And their son came by and we were able to help him out with some stuff that he needed. So I was very grateful to be able to give it to someone who could use it. But we had to shut some things down. There's no way we can operate 2 households right now. We will deal with that situation later. We don't know what the future holds. We're just kind of taking it one day at a time, and I think that's the only way we can handle it. So writing world has been, I finished right before this big journey, I just finished a 25,000 word novella for Brotherhood Protectors, and also it's a Crush crossover book. So that one, first draft is done. It's ready to rock and roll for revision, but it's not due until December. I have no idea why I wrote that first. I think I just was in the mood for something fast. It's a different world and I needed a break from my series. Now I'm working on Dangerous Temptation, which is the 3rd book in my new series for Crush, Covert Rescuers Undercover Shield. And I really love the characters. They're unique and different. I think I mentioned them in another video about how I was developing, how the whole series came into being. So I really love it. Pardon me, not the COVID, just allergies. That's what I say every time I sneeze. I had like a Tempted by Her Rescuer is done. I just need to revise it and then send it to my critique partners and then get some feedback from my editorial. And I'm halfway through Dangerous Temptation. I had to take a few breaks because I started it in July. I originally wanted to get it done by the end of July, but that trip just, there was no way. Plus the unloading of a truck and putting things away, it just wasn't going to happen. So I ended up giving myself a brand new deadline, end of this month, for the first draft, and I'm hoping and praying that I can get it done because there have been some interruptions. Not all of them have been pleasant, but you know, life happens and we are doing the best we can and living the best way we can and forging forward. So I'm a little I'm to about the middle part. Hope to wrap that up by the end of August. So this has been since July that I've started on this book, and usually I'm faster, but life happens. So that's my writing wrap up. My plans for coming up are pretty simple. I want to finish this first draft. I want to brainstorm the next book, which I already think I know which character it's going to be since I finally figured out who the real villain is. And then I want to revise all the books that I've done. I'm playing around with Global Mavericks, an older series, because I linked it to the 2nd book in my new series, and I'd like to revise that and get it out there. I'm involved in a new venture with some other authors, so that's exciting, and I'll tell you more about that when it becomes a reality. I've been editing. I had 2 editing jobs in July that I completed, and they were great. I enjoy working for both these clients. They're wonderful. Really excited about the one client's new cozy mystery series that's coming out. I think it's going to be really, really good. So that's basically our world in a nutshell. We have been very busy. We have been moving things. We have been unpacking things. We have been doing the things that you have to do to survive, being stuck, not able to really go anywhere other than having to go somewhere. We're all healthy. We're enjoying reading. We all read different things. I really recommend Lisa Kleypas and Tessa Dare's books if you like historical romances. And I hope to hear from you again. If you have any suggestions that are unique, like this Night Circus book, that would be great. Please just give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you like this video. I'm trying to up my game a little bit. I have been very lackadaisical about following other authors and booktubers, and it's not because I don't want to. It's really because I used to do that when I went to the Y. And guess what? I haven't been to the Y since the pandemic started, and I actually had to cancel my membership. So I'm working out in my closets. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I'm doing. And I'm going for walks, and it's kind of hard to watch YouTube videos when you're working out in a closet or going for a walk. So I have to figure out a new, almost like for me, a schedule it in kind of a thing, because I really love watching them. I'm starting to subscribe to some different authors, and I want to know more about that world. That's the whole reason I joined this community. I'm still very new at this, and I'm still trying to become part of the community and learn more, so bear with me. I hope you enjoyed my July reading, writing, life wrap-up, and if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to hear more from me or see any of my other content, just subscribe to my videos. I would love to have more subscribers. And as always, I wish you happy reading and happy writing. Take care.